Shalom, welcome to Rob on the Rock. I'm Rob Van Hoff, and the next few videos I want to take you through a beautiful psalm, Psalm 1, the introduction to the Psalter. And we're going to be looking at a 10th century Masoretic manuscript that is beautiful, although quite faded. And we'll hear it in Hebrew, and we'll talk about the meaning of the verses in this meditation on the Torah. I hope it's a blessing to you. All right, so what we're looking at here is what's called the Gaster Bible. It's from the 10th century, and it's incomplete. What you see at the top here is the very last line of 2nd Chronicles, and then the beginning of Psalm 1. So right here you can see Psalm 1 in its entirety here. These 7 lines here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, divided into 2 for the poem. And you can see here the Hebrew writing is very beautiful, but sadly it's quite faded. I'll zoom way in here, and you can appreciate the Hebrew text and the care and artistic hand of the scribe. But sadly, the ink has faded, and in some cases, a later scribe has come and tried to fill in some of the letters so it would be more legible. But it still does not look that great. But let's read a little bit. So Psalm 1 is a meditation on the value of the study of God's law, the study of the Torah, in as much as it's to be the content of our consciousness. Our waking awareness is to be spent thinking about the Word of God, that it's our primary occupation. And it's a beautiful poem, and it begins and says, Ashrei ha'ish, asher lo halak, ba'atzat reshaim, uvderech chataim, lo amad, uvmoshav leitzim, lo yashav. So that's the first few lines here. And let's go bit by bit. Ashrei ha'ish asher lo halak ba'atzat reshaim. What does that mean? Ashrei ha'ish literally means, oh, the ways of the man. A lot of translations will say, blessed is the man, but ashrei is what we call a masculine plural construct. The steps of the man who. Ashrei ha'ish asher, who lo halak, who did not walk. Halak, lo halak is the verb he did not walk, and lo halak is what we call in the perfect. It means it's a completed action. He did not do this. He did not walk, ba'atzat reshaim, in the counsel of the wicked. And then it says, also, v'derech chataim, and in the way, or the derek, the road of sinners, lo amad, he did not stand. Uvmoshav leitzim, and in the seat of the scorners, lo yashav, he did not sit. So the 3 main verbs here are lo halak. So halak is he walked, lo is he did not walk. Lo halak. Lo amad, he did not stand. And lo yashav, he did not sit. So the 3 things he did not do. And then it's contrasted with this next line. Ki im b'torat Adonai cheftzo. It's this beautiful line right here. Ki im betorat Adonai cheftzo. Now chefetz, your chefetz is your desire, your chefetz, your passion. Cheftzo means his desire, his delight. Ki im betorat Adonai cheftzo. But in the Torah of Adonai, of the Lord, is his delight. So his love for God's law is contrasted with the behavior that he avoided. Lo halak, he did not walk. Lo amad, he did not stand. Lo yashav, he did not sit. In these other scenarios, he turned away from those things. Rather, ki'im, b'torat Adonai, in the Torah of Adonai, chefzo, is his delight. And then we have the positive verb. U v'torato yehege. U v'torato yehege. And in the Torato, and in his Torah, yehege. So here we have the verb yehege contrasted with what he did not do. Lo halak, he did not walk. Lo amad, lo yeshav. Rather, yehege. And yehege, he will meditate. He will meditate is in what we call the imperfect. The other three verbs, the lo verbs that he did not do, are in the perfect. The things he did not do. He did not do this, he did not do that, he did not do the other. Rather, he will do, or he does. In the imperfective, it's an ongoing action. B'torato, uv'torato, yehege. And in his Torah, he will meditate. And not only are we given the verb in the imperfect, yehege, he does this and will continue to do this, we're actually given the timestamp, yomam valayla. Yomam, that's from the word yom, with what we call the adverbial mem here, yomam valayla, and night, daily and at night. That's the first passage here that we're going to look at today. And over the next few videos, we'll cover this whole psalm. Ashrei ha'ish, asher lo halak ba'atzat reshaim, uvderech chata'im lo amad, uvmoshav leitzim lo yashav, ki im b'torat Adonai chefzo, uv'torato yehege yomam v'layla. He did not do this, meaning he did not walk there. He did not stand there, and he did not sit over there. Rather, his delight is in God's law, and in his law, in his Torah, he continues to meditate. And if you don't know what he continues to meditate, the psalm tells us yomam v'layla, all the time. What's our option? For the person who loves God, there is no other option for us to fill our minds with except God's words. If we seek to fill our hearts and minds with words from the world, we're only going to get discouraged and down, and we're going to feel hopeless, and there's not going to be any good fruit there for us ultimately. But if we meditate on the Word of God, and that is our delight, and that's the natural delight of those who love God, is to delight in Him and to rejoice in having His Word. And such a beautiful opening here to the Psalter, Psalm 1. And over the next few videos, we'll go over the whole psalm. I hope this is a blessing to you. If you haven't already, subscribe to Rob on the Rock and give me some feedback. I'd love to hear from you. Shalom.